Are you serious? Hello, good afternoon. I figured I would give a little bit of an update. It's not going to be a very long update. I got a very busy cab here. And, you know, of course, in New Jersey, we've only got like garden patch size fields. This is actually one of the largest fields that I have. But, and it is 47, 46 acres is all. That's it. Yeah. Let me get turned around here. I put in a test plot today. B&H Genetics test plot. So we're gonna kind of keep track of that as we go through the summer. I got 48 rows of 8 different varieties. I did them on six row tests or plots, 6-row plots all at once. You know, they're just gonna be side by side because, you know, again, New Jersey, and that 24-row planter back there, that eats up acres pretty fast. So you kind of gotta be mindful of what you're doing. And the time that it took me all morning to put in 48 rows. I know I probably could have did a better job if I was in a smaller field. I'd have done 12 and 12 for those, but again, I decided I'm not gonna have a whole field for a test plot. I'm only gonna have 48 rows, and there you go. Teresa is actually running the VT. She's not that far away from me. She has to go, I'm running at 5.5 miles an hour, and she's running at about 11, 12. She has to go down and back. She got to go down, back down for one pass of this with the vertical tillage machine. And I'm going to flip this camera around so you can see what it looks like after the VT. So I'm going to explain what we've done with the VT. Barely disturbed the soil. And when I say barely, I mean barely. We cut in that deep. That's it. We've leveled it up 1.5 inches. And the rolling baskets were pressed at maximum. And if you look, you can see that the wheat, this is a wheat cover crop, it is damaged a little bit. That's all I really wanted to do. I wanted to slice the ground a little bit, put a little damage on the roots, and put some damage to the plant itself. So what that's going to do is trigger a response in the soil. And I know I've talked about this before. Nobody's really that interested in it, but it triggers a response in that plant to exude, basically rescue nutrients. It tells the biology in the soil that it's been injured and it needs to repair itself, and it needs all these, everything, N, P, K, zinc, copper, manganese, magnesium, and all these calcium, whatever's in those, whatever that plant signals the biology to bring to it is what it is getting. So I've done that, and of course now we're planting through. I've got my secret sauce, fish, and zinc in furrow. So that's what's going on there. We're putting 10 gallon to the acre, 2 gallon of fish, 1 gallon of secret sauce, and a quart of zinc, chelated zinc to the acre. So that's what's there. I'm quite pleased with what I'm seeing so far. I've got corn that's about ready to spike that I put in on Tuesday night. So basically by Wednesday. We had done it by Wednesday. So it's ready to spike through the soil. It'll probably be out of the ground day after tomorrow. And that'll be fine. And away we go. So yeah, for all of the naysayers that said that this planter wouldn't work, I've covered 300 plus acres with it with a few problems. I did have a couple of issues with it, but it wasn't because of my mechanical skills. It was because of the ground that we were in. I was planting into basically a quarry that they forgot to take the rocks out of. A real mess of rocks. I don't know what that stand is going to be like, because it just seemed like the planter was doing this the whole time. It was awful. And actually broke all the stone guards off of the bottom of the row shanks. Broke all the stone guards. The front pin, broke them off. I ended up welding them, and I've got video of that. I just haven't had time to put it up. So anybody that's watching this, just be patient. Do you spray the wheat down? So the wheat, all right, so back to the program. So now that I've damaged that wheat, I'm gonna let this wheat stand here for 3, 4, 5 days. Just like this. It's exuding, it's still pulling nutrients, it's still pulling nitrogen, it's still doing all the things that I want it to do. And then 3, 4, 5 days from now, I will come through and I will put down my secret sauce, my residual, and dose of glyphosate to get this stuff burned down. By that time, the corn will be up out of the ground. By the time that stuff dies down, the corn will be out of the ground. The secret sauce will be feeding the microbiology in the soil, keeping that alive until, I mean really keeping it alive until I can get really good root mass from this corn. Last year my cover crop was too tall, and I can show you. Last year I planted through hay, standing hay, and that cover crop was just, it was tall, and then we went into a drought, and then it never built a root system up. So this year we've rolled it, we've stunted it, and it's really not super thick like it was before. It's got a really nice root mass in it, but it's not like a hay field was. And the vertical tillage machine has really done its job, which I'm quite happy for. And I don't think I'm going to have any of those problems with the corn competing for sunlight, because literally it had to get up over 2 foot of grass, and right now it's 2 foot of wheat, or 1.5 foot of wheat, and that's already been pretty well beat up by the vertical tillage machine. That wheat is not going to get any more height to it at all. That's what happens when you stunt it. Oh man, well, I'm going to do this. I don't like doing that, but I'm going to do that anyway. Oh my goodness. I got my test plot over there, and I got to be careful. I don't want to interfere with that. This is the first real day that I can confidently say that the ground is ready. Honest to God. It's, well, here, you're going to see in a second what I'm talking about. See that mud hole? Still wet here. It's still wet here, and being wet like this is not, you can't, in this ground, if you put corn in this ground, oh, that was not cool. If I put corn into this ground as wet as it was 5 days ago, the slots open back up again, and that's what happened. Yesterday, on the first 20 acres that I planted, when I planted it, the slots closed. They were crumbled. Seemed like they crumbled. They did crumble. I was very pleased with the closing wheels that I've got. Had closed it up, but then I walked out in the field yesterday, and the slot was open 1/2 inch, and I could look down into the slot about 1 inch. It's like, man, that's not good. So I dug a few seeds up, and they had a shoot on them about that long. So I sent Teresa over with the vertical tillage machine, and she ran over it and busted those slots up with the vertical tillage machine and closed those slots up. Yeah, a little risky, but we did it, and it seems like it's going to work. You know, I went and I dug after she went over a spot twice. I was like, oh no, that's going to destroy it, but it didn't. Oh, auto steer. That answer your question? That's what it is. You can thank the Eastern Shore farmer for that. So, Lewis is a good guy, a really good guy. If you don't, he's got a sense of humor that I like Lewis. Him and his Mrs. Eastern Shore farmer. You're going too slow? I'm not going too slow. You think I'm going too slow? Well, I guess you're not in my tractor in my planting conditions in my field. So you can go faster with your equipment, knock your socks off. It's fine. I know what I'm doing. I've done this way all my life. It is a different planter than I'm used to, but the soil didn't change that much. Fat Boy HD88. I do believe you're the guy that sent me those root beer barrels about 7-8 years ago. 6210R. You know we're still eating them things, right? That was a lot of root beer barrels. I appreciated it. I tried to make my sister-in-law's real fat. I sent about 10 pounds of them out to the Philippines. They ate them like they were candy. I guess they were. And up we go. I'm going too slow. It is. It is the one with the tinted windows. How is Flemington doing? Well, I haven't been into Flemington. I got to go plant over there. It was you that sent me those root beer barrels. I knew it was. Anyways, they're really good. Well, I have to do it my way because they're not doing it. You know, it's a funny thing. If you do things the way other people do it, you may as well just hire them to do it for you. The seed was about $10, $8 to $10 a bag more for this seed. And, you know, whatever. What can I do? I've got another another company that sent me some plot seed, and they want me to sell the seed. She's mean. She's not mean. She puts up with your ass. She's not that mean. Vanessa Berry. Ooh, we got a secret admirer. I bet my wife ain't gonna like that. But anyway, I think I got the damn thing is probably plugging that damn filter up. I gotta go deal with that. It's 5.5 miles an hour, right? Well, I'm actually. Let me back that down. You set it for there's wheel slip. You know, this tractor has a radar, but I don't ever use it. I think this one has the radar. Does that have radar? I don't know. This one might have the radar. Now, he didn't marry her yet. I'd like to go to that wedding. I'm going to bring them each a baseball bat, so when he smears cake in her face, she can let him have it. Or vice versa, I wouldn't be sure. But I'm going to buy a couple of those Nerf bats and then hand it to him so that when the cake thing comes, she can just beat the shit out of him with it. You know, it'd be kind of fun if I'm invited to the wedding, which I really would like to be, actually. That's one I would take off for that. I definitely would. Matter of fact, I'd even give them a really good opportunity to get out of the country and go to the Philippines. You know, we have a home over there, and you can come and stay for free, and we take you on the tour of a lifetime. And that's a fact. You would be like, oh my goodness, this is cool, and it is cool. So this is what we got to deal with around here. Slop. Look at that. Slop and frog hole. I'm not planting through that. Yeah, the NG. Yeah, NG. NK seed. I don't know. I've used NK seed. Golden Harvest and NK are basically the same thing. They are the same thing, same company. Nice straight rows in my nice big field. Cuts right down through that stuff. I was a little worried because I don't use no-till coulters on the planters. I don't need them. Nobody needs them, actually. They take the weight off of the openers. Are you allowed to tile the fields there? Tile the fields. Oh, I could tile these. These had tile in them years ago. Matter of fact, I was told that this farm, they dug pits and filled them with field stone so that the water would have some place to go. I don't know how true that is, but Yeah, most of these farms had tile in them at one time or another. 1,300 acres. Yeah, everything's going pretty good. I like this planter. I do. John Deere doesn't want to support it anymore, so it's going to be a John Shoop baler. John Shoop. Not John Deere anymore. John Shoop. Yeah, but she's pumping. Anyway, yeah, just having a good old time here in New Jersey, and hoping and praying that we have the rain that we're supposed to get and the heat that we need. And everything that I've done since last fall has been geared for drought. No, I still have 2,000 acres of hay to deal with. I'm not cutting any hay until end of June. Till the end of June, after the weeds off and everything's planted. Once everything's planted, then we'll start cutting hay. I have not had any issues with the height of the planter. The width of the field openings is a little different story, but I was able to manipulate it through there. But yeah, for the most part, it's been pretty good. I don't think it's an issue. Yeah, it's not dry here. I mean, like I said, it just got really ready to do something with yesterday, the day before. And as you can see, there's no dust coming off of there. The reason for that is we don't plow the ground anymore. We're done with that. We're putting carbon in the soil to feed biology. We're not going to put the we're just doing good. I am turning more ground into corn and beans. You're damn right. By the time I'm done, I'll be running at least 3,000 acres of row crops. And then, of course, I got to build bins, you know. But there's a place online. It's on Facebook. It's called Bin Trader, and they got some really good bins there. Like really good bins, 60,000 bushel bins. They're reasonably priced. You come and pick them up or have them shipped. They're already taken down. And then you just get the mill rights to come out and put them up. Yeah, we're supposed to get rain Saturday or Sunday, so I got to get over several hundred acres of corn ground, which it won't take me too long. Everything's pretty well ready to go. If I could get everything planted in the next 6-7 days, or within the next week and a half, then I'll be pretty happy. And I'm not afraid to plant all night. It's fine. I've done it before. And I'll do it again. I got Timothy putting fertilizer down. He's really excelling at that. The last few days he's ran almost about 30,000 gallons of nitrogen out. See, now that's bare ground, that's dust, that's drying up. The reason that's bare ground is because that was a wet spot and my wheat died. Skinny biker dude. Yeah, I recognize you. What type of corn did I grow? I've got DeKalb and FS, and I've got BH genetics. That's just test plot corn, the BH genetics. The reason I didn't purchase any BH genetics, I just did the test plots, is because I'm running these tests. It's in pretty decent ground that I've got. If they do well next year, if they do well, I'll be selling BH genetic seed, and I will be planting a lot more of the BH genetics seed. It isn't treated any different than anything else that I'm planting. Yeah, I was going to grow Pioneer. To be honest with you, Pioneer back in the 90s was king. Anybody that grew Pioneer in the 90s. But today it's not quite what everybody thinks it is. You know, I think they're still running their name. You know, Pioneer's not Pioneer anymore. You know, it went to DuPont, and then DuPont sold it now, I guess. I don't know who has it. Probably China. And you got to understand that most of these most of the genetics, they're all the same. It's all the same stuff. It's just a different company's label on it is all. Now once that company sticks its label on it, it doesn't make it any different than the neighbors. It just, yeah, I'm gonna kick you on now. All right. Corteva owns it now. And who owns Corteva? Sounds Chinese to me. Wouldn't surprise me. This is our government's allowing our country to be sold out from under us. And you know, the corporate idiots that run these companies, they don't give a damn as long as their pockets are lined with millions of dollars. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. They don't give a shit about their workers. They just do what they want. Oh, this tractor pulls that. It's child's play to that thing. It's child's play. It's a 24-row planter. It's not like it's a 64-row planter. No, it's a 6210R, but I've got a juiced 30 horsepower. So it's juiced 30 horsepower. So it's like 230, not quite 48 horsepower. I think I had it figured to be 236 horsepower, which is more horsepower than the 8120. My 7530 is right around the same horsepower as this, because I had an English 7530. Hey, I'm going to answer that question again. What guidance am I using? There, ladies and gentlemen. I was using FJ Dynamics. I still use it, but let me tell you something. The money that's spent on these things is way better spent than any of those others. Time's up, mutt. Boy, aren't you something else? I don't know who you are, but one of these days, if we meet, make sure you introduce yourself before we meet, because I don't like surprises, but you may not like what you get when we do meet. But you're probably one of those little cowards that, you know, talks big and then sneaks up behind you with a baseball bat or something. That's generally the way people like you are. Ignorant bastards that think they're better than anybody else. Why is that one not pumping? I'm gonna have to end my live stream because I got a filter that needs to be unplugged. Filter needs to be unplugged. So here we go. I think I'm just gonna take the son of a bitch out. Alright, I'm gonna shut it off. Boom, and shut that down. I will talk to y'all later. Back to guidance. Have you said ag leader or any experience with it? I've never ran an ag leader. I know people that do run ag leaders. All I know is that I brought this thing home. Eastern Shore Farmer sold it to me. I brought it home. I plugged it into that corner post there. I snapped on the globe at the top. I plugged that in, and it said, "Hello, I recognize your guidance system." And it's real simple. You just go through it. He helped me out a little bit. I had a couple things because I didn't have an operator's manual. So he's laying in bed telling me how to make this thing work at 10 o'clock at night. But super simple. And it's faster than anything I've ever used. I've used Trimble and I've used that stupid FJ Dynamics. And I'm telling you right now, if you've got a John Deere, use the John Deere guidance. Don't do the other stuff. Ag leader, if you're running, I could only say that if you're running different brands of equipment, say if you have a case and you want to swap between your case, Trimble is case anyway. So yeah, if you're gonna do that, Trimble, John Deere, you could do ag leader and run them all the same. I don't know, just seems like a big pain in the ass to me. I've got John Deere, I'm gonna run John Deere. From now on, I'm gonna run John Deere. Anyway, I gotta go. There's shit to do. I gotta go unplug that filter.